The final point landed. The crowd erupted. And across the Atlantic, in the halls of power, the most powerful man in the world was watching. Donald Trump had just witnessed Alex Eala dismantle Jessica Pegula on American soil. The Filipina had beaten an American in America on a Monday, and the president's reaction was so shocking, so unexpected, that it sent the tennis world into a frenzy. "Alex Eala beat me," Trump reportedly exclaimed. The words were a confession, an admission that the Eala Effect had reached the highest office in the United States. And the world can't believe it. It was a moment that captured the world's attention. During a diplomatic dinner at the White House, President Donald Trump made a surprising revelation. He admitted that his youngest son, Barron, was a big fan of Alex Eala. The comment sparked immediate speculation. Was this just a casual remark, or was it a sign of political endorsement? Either way, the Eala Effect had reached the highest levels of American power. Trump's connection to tennis was no secret. He had hosted Wimbledon champion Simona Halep at the White House in 2019. He had welcomed the U.S. Open champion, Bianca Andreescu, to the Oval Office. He had a long history of engaging with sports stars, but his comments about Eala were different. They were personal. They were about his son, and they were about a Filipina who had just conquered American soil. The women's final of the Mubadala DC Open was already one of the most talked about matches of the year. Heavy rain and lightning forced a suspension on Sunday, with Pegula leading 6-4, 1-2. The match was pushed to Monday, a working day, forcing fans to rearrange their schedules. But when play resumed, Eala returned with renewed purpose. She stormed back to win the second set, then delivered a flawless deciding set, reeling off the final 8 games and handing Pegula a stunning bagel. It was a 6-0 annihilation that left the American veteran shell-shocked. Eala was clinical behind her first serve, winning 84.4% of those points to Pegula's 56.5%. She converted 4 of her 9 break-point chances and won 79 of the 140 points played. The victory extended her winning streak against top 10 opponents to 5 matches. She had beaten the tournament's top 3 seeds, Alina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and now Jessica Pegula. But the drama didn't end there. Across the Atlantic, in the White House, the most powerful man in the world was watching. The moment the final point landed, the tennis world erupted. But it was what happened next that left everyone stunned. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, had been watching, and his reaction was so shocking, so unexpected, that it sent the tennis world into a frenzy. Alex Eala. The reaction sparked immediate speculation. Was Trump's comment a joke, a political statement, or a genuine recognition of Eala's growing influence? Either way, the world couldn't believe it. A Filipina tennis player had just beaten an American on American soil, and the President of the United States was talking about it. Trump's reaction was the culmination of a phenomenon that had been building for months. The Eala Effect had transformed the tennis world. Her popularity had skyrocketed, with queues snaking around the Grand Slam grounds when she was scheduled on an outside court. Watch parties were held for her matches back home. She was no longer just a promising player. She was a national hero. The Philippine Senate had recognized her achievements multiple times. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. had hailed her as a real inspiration. And now, the President of the United States was acknowledging her impact. Trump's comment was a recognition that Eala's influence had crossed borders. She was not just a Filipino icon, but a global phenomenon. The Eala Effect had reached the highest office in the United States, and the world was taking notice. The final had been delayed. The rain had tried to stop her. The pressure had been immense. But Alex Eala didn't just win a tennis match, she won a legacy. She proved that a girl from Quezon City, who grew up training on painted-over basketball courts, could stand alongside the best in the world. And she proved that the Eala Effect was real, so real, in fact, that it reached the highest office in the United States. "I feel so much love," Eala had said after her victory. "Standing here in the middle of all this love, my first chance at a title, knowing it won't be my last. Already having achieved this feat and this milestone for my career, I knew that whatever would have happened after this match, it would have already been a win for me." The true measure of Alex Eala is not in the trophies she wins, the records she breaks, or the goals she achieves. It is in the millions of lives she touches. The children who grow up watching her, dreaming of becoming like her. The fans who see in her a reflection of their own struggles and triumphs. The nation that rallies behind her, united by a shared dream. And the President of the United States, who watches her and admits, "She beat me." This was not the